Hello viewers, I am uploading the solutions of past year papers of UPSC CS main, as well as I am uploading the content in PPT form of UPSC syllabus on my YouTube channel, and in this video I am uploading the question number 3C of Operations Research CS main 2017 Mathematics paper 2. This question is of simplex method and it is a maximization type problem, and it says that we have to solve the linear programming problem LPP by simplex method. So maximize z is equal to 3x1 plus 5x2 plus 4x3. This is the objective function. Three variables are there. Subject to these are the constraints. These three are the constraints. 2x1 plus 3x2 is less than equal to 8. 2x1 plus 5x3 is less than equal to 10. 3x1 plus 2x2 plus 4x3 is less than equal to 15. x1, x2, x3 are greater than equal to 0. This question is of 20 marks. So we can see here that all the constraints are of less than equal to type. It means we will be adding slack variables on left hand side of the constraints, and we will make them equal to type of problem, and that is standard equation form of the problem, and then we can apply the simplex method. So first we write down the problem in the equation form, standard equation form, and we have the objective function maximize z is equal to 3x1 plus 5x2 plus 4x3, and this is the first constraint 2x1 plus 3x2 plus s1. S1 is the slack variable is equal to 8. 2x1 plus 5x3 plus s2, this is second slack variable, is equal to 10. Third constraint is 3x1 plus 2x2 plus 4x3 plus s3 is equal to 15. x1, x2, x3, s1, s2, s3 are greater than equal to 0. So we can also add here 0 into s1 plus 0 into s2 plus 0 into s3. So we can add in the objective function because we have added these slack variables in the constraints. Now we can write down the objective function as that we take all the terms which are on right hand side towards left hand side. So z minus 3x1 minus 5x2 minus 4x3 is equal to 0. Here we can write down minus 0 into s1, minus 0 into s2, minus 0 into s3 to make it more appropriate, or to see that s1, s2, s3 are also in consideration, because we will be writing their coefficients also in the table when we will be doing the calculations for simplex method. So this we will write down the starting simplex method, and here we take s1, s2, s3 as basic variables, and x1, x2, x3 are non-basic variables, and we take their value as 0. So when we put x1, x2, x3 in first constraint as 0, we get s1 as 8. From second constraint we get s2 as 10 after putting x1, x2, x3 as 0. From third constraint we get s3. S3 is 15, and first row, that is z row, we have written with the help of objective function. When we put all the elements which were on right hand side, we brought them to left hand side, and we have written this z row. So coefficient of z is 1 in objective function. After taking all terms on left hand side, coefficient of x1 is minus 3, coefficient of x2 is minus 5, coefficient of x3 is minus 4, s1 is 0. This is minus 0, but we may take it as 0. s2 is 0, s3 is 0, and solution is 0. And s1 row shows the first constraint's coefficients. So we write down coefficients of first constraint in S1 row, coefficients of second constraint in S2 row, and in S3 row coefficients of third constraint. So S1 row is coefficient of Z is 0, coefficient of X1 is 2, coefficient of X2 is 3, coefficient of X3 is 0, S1 is 1, S2 is 0, S3 is 0, and right hand side is 8. So we write similarly coefficients of S2 row and S3 row. Now because this is a maximization problem, so in Z row we will check which one is the maximum negative, most negative element. So minus 5 is most negative element, and this we have marked here, and this becomes X2 becomes entering variable, and this column becomes pivot column. And now we have to find out which one will be the leaving variable. So for finding leaving variable, we divide elements of solution column by corresponding elements of pivot column. So 8 upon 3, and this is 10 upon 0 here, so we won't take it, we will ignore it, which comes infinity. If element is negative, ratio is negative or infinity, we will ignore them. And in S3 row it comes 15 upon 2. So which one is minimum, we will take that for ratio. So and we will mark that variable as leaving variable. So 8 upon 3 ratio is minimum in this column, and S1 becomes leaving variable, which is corresponding to minimum ratio, that is 8 upon 3. So X2 will enter and S1 will leave. Now the intersecting element of pivot column, this is pivot column, and S1 row becomes pivot row. So intersecting element of pivot column and pivot row is pivot element, this is 3. 3 is the pivot element. Now for further calculations, what will we do? We will divide this pivot row by pivot element, that is by 3. So each element of S1 row, that is 0, 2, 0, 1, 0, 0, they will be divided by 3. Once we get new S1 row, and in next table we will write here X2, because X2 will enter, and we will be having new row after dividing 3. With the help of that new row, we will be writing Z, S2, S3 rows. So we will see, so in we have slide 2.68 upon 3 is minimum. Ignore this, I have written here everything whatever I have explained. So for writing Z row, S1 row and S2 row, S1 row is pivot row. So S1 row is pivot row, we will be writing current pivot row upon pivot element. So S1 row is here current pivot row, and pivot element was 3. So we will get new pivot row by using this formula. And for other rows, that is Z, S2, S3, we will be using this formula. New row will be current row minus its pivot column coefficient into new pivot row. So by using these formulas, we will be getting new table. So this is the new table which we have obtained after applying the formulas which were given in the previous slide. So in each element I have written the calculation, and let's see how we have done that. So here our new basic solution is now S1 is gone, so new basic solution is S2, X2, S3. So this is the new basic solution, X2, S2, S3, and we see that x2 has entered, and we have obtained this row by dividing the current row by 3. So pivot row has been divided by 3 and we got this row. With the help of this row, we will be writing the elements of Z, S2 and S3 row. So let's see how we have done the calculation. So 1 was the element in the previous table. So 1 minus 5 was the element in the pivot column of entering variable. Pivot column, that is x2 variable, that is -5. So 1 minus -5 into 0 gives us 1. Then -3 was the element in x1 column, minus -5 is the element in pivot column, into 2 by 3 gives us 1 by 3. Then here -5, this was the element in pivot column, minus -5, that becomes plus, into 1, this is the 1, which gives us 0. Then -4 was the element in the previous table, minus -5 into 0 gives us -4. Then here coefficient of S1 was 0, so 0 minus -5 into 1 by 3 becomes plus 5 by 3. And in S2 and S3 coefficients, 0 minus -5 into 0 gives us 0. Then 0 minus -5 into 0 gives us 0, and solution was 0 in the previous table, minus -5 into 8 upon 3 gives us 40 by 3. Similarly, we can write down elements of S2 and S3 row, which I have written here, and then we see, check again in Z row that which one is most negative. So we see here -4 is most negative. So this becomes our entering variable, and this column becomes our pivot column. And for finding the leaving variable, we will divide the solution column by corresponding elements of pivot column. So 8 upon 3 is this element, upon 0 gives us infinity. Then 14 upon 3 divided by 5 is 0.93. Then 4 is pivot element column, pivot column element. So 29 upon 3 upon 4 gives us 7.4, I believe 7.4. So this is 29 upon 12, not 7. 29 upon 12. So this one is the minimum, and this is the leaving variable. The corresponding variable is the leaving variable, that is S2. So now this becomes our pivot row, and this element 5 becomes pivot element, and we will divide this row by 5 to get the new pivot row. Once we divide it by 5, we will get new row, and with the help of that new row, we will be writing x2 and s3 rows. And in next table, x3 will enter in the table and s2 will leave. So let's go to next table. These are the formulas which I have used to write the next table. So here again the calculation is in similar manner as we did in the previous one. So I have written all the terms here. Let's see here, x2 was earlier there, now x3 has entered into the picture and s3 is still there. and when we do the calculation as we did in the previous, so each element calculation has been written here, and we see this becomes minimum and this becomes leaving variable, and again we do, this becomes our pivot row, and this is most negative, so this becomes our entering variable. So x1 will enter in the solution, and this element is our pivot element. We will do the calculation again by using these formulas, and after using these formulas we can see what comes in the next table. After doing the calculations we get this new table, and here we see this is z row. Now our basic variables are x2, x3, x1, and solution is 765 upon 41. x2 value is this, x3 value is this, and x1 value is this. So when we see that all elements in z row are positive, there is no negative element in z row, it means we have reached to our optimal solution, because it was a maximization type problem. So we can stop here, and our optimal solution is 765 upon 41. So maximize z is this, x1 is 89 upon 41, x2 is 50 upon 41, x3 is 62 upon 41. So this is our solution, and